Here's a little update on my plants. Sorry about the mess in the background. We live at this rental where the landlord won't let us throw away his stuff that he left all over the place, so ignore that. But these are my plants. Looks like Ginny got a little sunburnt when I moved them out. You can see the older leaves are a little burnt, but the new leaves are coming in really nice. It's enjoying the sun now that it's used to it. I don't see it now, but it looked like it was going to put off a new branch on one of these side guys. Oh, like right there maybe? That looks like a bit of new growth. It might turn into an aerial root instead. That node right there is looking like it's going to start growing another branch. Oh, look, there's a little spider. Gonna have to brush everybody off before they come inside, but that's gonna be probably a couple more months anyhow. This little philodendron unfortunately got set on a dry shelf and I forgot all about it, and I thought it was dead, but it's not. I do need to trim off some of the stuff that's actually dead, but it's gonna come back. I'm so excited. I know it's a philodendron, but I don't remember what kind. Here is my burgundy princess. I've been looking for new growth, but I can't tell yet. The burgundy princess is basically just a reverted pink princess. And here is my pink princess. She put off a new leaf. I'm still waiting for it to harden up so you can see what color it is. There's a darker bit right there, and then some lighter speckles, so I have no idea what color it's gonna turn. It would be awesome if it got light, like that dark spot suggests. But you can see all the lighter speckles, so I think it's gonna actually darken up and have some light pink speckles. And here is, butcher the name of it, but it's bipinifolium. I guess that's how you say it. I'm so excited about this one. It was given to me by a fellow Tacoma Plant Club member, and it's got a new leaf coming in very, very slowly. I'm waiting for it to open up. This one here gave me a little mystery for a while. It had a tag which got lost, and I think this one was the tag that came on it, but it looks more like this, especially based on an ad I saw for however you pronounce this one in my hand that looked identical to this leaf. I don't think this is a fully mature leaf. The other leaves on here, though, are just little babies. They're starting to get lobes, but it's not much to go by at this point. So I think the Campa sportanum, I don't know. Don't ask me. I think this is the accurate one. So I need to find one of these too, because I want all of the philodendrons. Right here is my little silver sword, which has not decided whether it's going to survive for me or not. Hopefully it does. There's a chance that one of my poor neglected plants is a silver sword, though. I don't think it's this one, but this one over here, I think this is a silver sword. I had, I think it was 3 different philodendrons. Yeah, here's the other one that got left on a dry shelf, and I forgot about them, so they died off almost all the way. They looked completely dead, but I couldn't bring myself to throw them away, so I started watering them. And this one and that one have come back. This other one still had one leaf, so I was more hopeful about that, and now it's got a bunch of new leaves. These are obviously the really young ones. This is philodendron radiatum. I really need to learn how to say these. I just read them all the time, so I don't actually ever hear them pronounced. But this is a more mature leaf. It's not fully mature, but it's closer than the others. So I'm very happy that I didn't lose those, because I love my philodendrons even if I forget about them once in a while. This is a pink Congo cutting. No sign yet whether or not it's actually rooting, but that's the hopes. We'll see what happens. This guy right here, I am not sure what this is. It's got kind of leathery leaves, real similar to a philodendron, but tougher. It gives off peperomia type blooms. I was told Pilia or peperomia, but couldn't get a more definite ID on it. This is pretty mature leaves. They come out like looking like this, and the much larger plant this came from, all the leaves were like this, so this is mature leaves. Let's see the stems up close. And I don't know if there's any plant people watching, but if you have any idea what this is, I would love to know. Please leave me a comment or send a message. But I just love this one. The plant it came from is big and bushy and hanging down. And this one's growing really well for me. This is a brand new leaf. It's got a new leaf coming in there. The leaves do develop a lot like philodendrons, except it's got this kind of husk on there instead of coming directly from the leaf. But yeah, it looks really nice. I love this plant. This is a climbing hydrangea start. I don't know if this is actually going to start for us, but it hasn't given up hope yet. All the leaves fell off, so we shall see. This is a terrarium with a fern volunteer. Probably going to take that out and put it in a pot, since that terrarium's obviously too small for it. This little guy is so badly neglected, and I really thought he was dead, but now he's got like half a dozen or so. Now it's like 9 or 10 new branches coming in. Starting out very pale green, so not really a very solid hint of what it's going to look like. Here is my newest Hoya. I need to properly ID this because I'm not super familiar with Hoyas. Kind of just started getting into them. I do have another Hoya start right here. It's getting the tiniest start of roots, so before too long it'll be ready to go in a pot. These other guys are rooting too. Ooh, that one's got a lot of roots. This one's got just a little one. Man, those roots have tripled in size overnight. That's amazing. So that's the purple one here, the wandering thing. Not sure what the acceptable name is now, because everybody's uncomfortable with the old name, which is just. This is, oh crap, I can't remember. I clearly know what this plant is, but I cannot think of the name at the moment. This guy over here, although he's currently infested with aphids, this is a cutting that has grown roots, and those are growing quickly too. It's kind of an experiment because my mess Solanum pyracanthum is usually an outdoor plant, but I decided to try growing it inside. Look at these blooms. I just love that. And then the orange spikes. Decided to try growing it inside, and it's done really, really well. It kind of got neglected along with the three philodendrons, but it doesn't need as much water as they do, so it did a whole lot better. But it got super leggy, so I cut the tallest tips, and that's where the rooted cutting came from. So I'm either going to add it to this pot or pot it separately and maybe trade with somebody once I get the aphids taken care of. But yeah, I just absolutely love this plant. It has beautiful purple flowers. Let's see. This is an aloe. It was rotted, and I cut off the roots. And then once it was dry, I potted it, and then it rained and flooded the pot, so I pulled it out to dry again. Because I don't want it to turn to mush, but yeah, that's what that is. I'm not sure how well it's gonna do, because that looks a little suspect, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I can't tell if there's just dirt stuck there. I don't want to mess it up if it's roots starting, but I don't think they come in like that. This is an alocasia from my friend. I hope I said that right. I just love the veining on these things. They're beautiful. Monstera addisoni. Yeah, it was labeled incorrectly, obviously, because it's never oblique. But yeah, that I used to have a giant one. I don't remember what happened to it. I wish I still had it, because it would be incredible. That was like 10 years ago. But I'm starting over with a little one, and it's doubled in size since I got it. That was only a month or so ago. The leaves are getting a little tangled up on themselves, but it's looking good. I need to get a taller thing for it to grow on. This is my, well, I guess it's not technically smaller. It's got way more leaves than the other, but it's my short little begonia. I don't know what this is, but this one's developing to look a bit like a Jurassic watermelon. We'll see what it actually grows into. But I have a Jurassic watermelon over here. None of the leaves look quite like that, but sometimes these things change like crazy. This escargot, I believe. This is the Camposorum as well. I took a cutting to force it to split off, which it has worked. Let's get a new branch there, and a new branch there. And then I'll put this in the pot as well to make it kind of a fuller, bushier plant. Another Syngonium. Oh, that's the word. Syngonium start. I believe this is Pothos Neon Green. And then my very, very sad squamifer. Philodendron squamifer. I really love this plant. I do not know if it's actually going to start for me. There's little signs that it might, but looking at that leaf, it is quickly running out of time. I originally just had it in moss. I'm going to have to adjust that once I have two hands. I just had it in moss to root, but it didn't seem to be doing anything, so I gave it a little bit of rooting hormone and more water, and so far not much has changed. I think those little bumps on there have gotten a little bigger, but not much has changed, so I don't know if this one's going to take. I'll have to see if I can get another cutting or just buy a plant. These guys tend to be kind of expensive, but not too hard to find. Another philodendron. I believe this is Philodendron glossium, but it is having a hell of a time unfurling its leaves. They keep getting stuck. I think it's a humidity thing, or I did think it was a humidity thing, but I've raised the humidity and it hasn't seemed to help that much. I mean, that one's looking okay. This one's deformed, but that one looks okay. This one came in fine, so we'll see. It should look way better. This one was amongst the ones that got neglected. Actually, no, not this one. This one got sunburned. That's why it's so sad. It got sunburned when I was moving because I set it outside for a minute and didn't realize how much sun that space would get. And yeah, it lost its big leaves, but it's doing okay. I'm going to be very happy when we have a permanent place for my plants. Here's a Monstera deliciosa start. Another Monstera